Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. I'm down here at the, press room at CES, Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. Really interesting vibe because before every crash in the economy, before every recession, it's almost like nobody knows what's going on. Only a few people in the know understand market cycles. They understand what's happening in the real economy. And we've heard this before, you go to theme parks and it's like nothing's happening. It doesn't matter what inflation's doing. It doesn't matter what Federal Reserve policy, how it's shaping the future of our economies. Most people, 99% of the nation and the world, have no concept until the rug is pulled out from below them. I've got a story about something that is coming out of the Fed, some speech that literally proves they are hell-bent on taking this economy down. We know that because as interest rates rise, real estate sales completely stop. We also see things in consumer sentiment and spending. They start to retract. And this is an excellent example of what's going on. Also, for everybody that just purchased the real estate course, just put up the first lesson. So go and check that out. Lots more to come. And also on the Side Hustle course, just finished filming the social media aspect, multiple videos on that, lessons on that for the Side Hustle course, how to use social media to blow up your side hustle, your business, okay, in 2023. All right. So with that being said, here is the story out of Zero Hedge. Fed admits recession is plausible and pushes back against unwarranted easing expectations. Now, again, really quick to bring you back to the beginning of this video, I was saying there's a lot of hustle and bustle here. Everyone wants to see the new electronics, the new whiz-bang gadgets and all that kind of stuff. But we've seen things like this before where people get super excited, like with Apple and the launch of their latest iPhone, but there's nobody there to buy it. The consumer's tapped out. Inflation is crushing them, and there's just not enough technological advancements in that phone to warrant somebody going out and spending a bunch of money on it. So it's interesting to see all the excitement and all the new stuff. At the same time, are the consumers going to line up? Are they going to be there? Are they going to be ready to purchase? That's the question. All right, it says right here, since the last FOMC statement on December 14th, when the Fed hiked by 50 basis points and gushed hawkishly, gold has outperformed. Yeah, it has. While long duration stocks have been the biggest loser, with the dollar flat and crypto and bonds lower. The market expectations for the trajectory of the Fed moves has shifted significantly hawkish since the last FOMC meeting. And most notably, financial conditions have notably tightened post-FOMC as Powell had wanted after dovishly decoupling from the Fed's policy actions. Now it says, so what did the minutes say? The headline from today's minutes is that it's clear that the Fed officials were not pleased by the surge in stocks, easing in financial conditions ahead of the meeting, warning against an unwarranted easing in financial conditions. And here's a quote. Participants noted that because monetary policy worked importantly through financial markets, an unwarranted easing in financial conditions, especially if driven by a misperception by the public of the committee's reaction function, would complicate the committee's effort to restore price stability. End quote. It says right here, additionally, it's also interesting how there are many Fed officials saying that there was a need to balance two-sided risks. This suggests there is a growing split at the Fed. Additional highlights include, and it starts talking about different highlights and things like that. But this is what I want to explain. We have seen in the past where Jerome Powell, after the market just blew up after a certain Federal Reserve meeting, and everybody started getting ready for that Fed pivot, or at least to see the Federal Reserve slow down the rate of rise that's happening with the Fed funds rate. Jerome Powell came out and said, I want to make this very clear. And this is after his press conference, his press statement. He came back on and he said, I want to make this very clear. We are not going to stop raising rates. And I think that's what they're essentially talking about right now. The Federal Reserve is hell-bent on taking down this economy. I mean, what's crazy to me, and here we're at CES, but how many people could actually explain what the new digital dollar is, or its function, its purpose in this economy, and how it's going to talk with other digital currencies around the world? Also, most people don't understand how difficult it's going to be to keep your freedoms with a digital currency. And the other sad thing is, what the Federal Reserve needs to do to be able to get people into compliance to take that digital currency. That's only going to happen during a crisis. And if the last 3 years have taught you anything, and that is using a crisis to push crazy money printing down the throats of the American public, that's how you do it. You use a crisis. And I want to remind you that 3 months or 2 months prior, it was just 30 days prior to COVID coming out of Wuhan, what happened? The interbank lending rate imploded, and they needed something to blame. I hope you guys are reading between the lines. These are very serious times. And I believe, personally, that we're going to see another wave, another scare in the next 3 to 4 months, because remember, the Federal Reserve and the government has announced that by July of 2023, on fednow.gov, that digital currency starts getting rolled out. And before you know it, cash will be made illegal. So start planning now, start preparing now. And like it says right here, gold has outperformed. And that is one thing that the Federal Reserve is very concerned with, because as the dollar tops and is starting to lose value versus other currencies because of investors, speculators, or just the general public believing that we're going to start seeing lower rates, which means the dollar is going to lose value. Federal Reserve also knows they've got to prop up the value of the dollar, especially as Russia, China, Iran, all kinds of countries, Saudi Arabia and more, go away from the US dollar standard. So they need to keep that perception of dollar strength. How do you do that? The easiest way is to keep raising interest rates. And how do you blame or push off the blame from the collapse, from the raising interest rates and what collapse that's going to be? You blame inflation. It's actually a perfect scenario. There's literally almost zero roads that lead to this economy not collapsing. They all lead to that one road. All right, guys, I hope you got something out of this. I hope you have a great day. For everybody that bought the courses, new lessons are online right now. And again, the social media aspect for the Side Hustle course, I'm going to be adding those. They're at the editor right now. I hope to have them up in the next 2 days. All right, guys, that being said, the Economic Ninja is out.